Hey there, doodle lover. Are you ready to finally feel proud of your doodle's behavior? Not just their adorable face? Then don't miss my free 10-day Doodle Parent Challenge starting September 5th. It's the training reset you've been craving. Live, science-backed, and built just for doodle parents like you. Head to thedoodlepro.com/parent challenge to save your free spot now. That's thedoodlepro.com/parent challenge. I'll see you inside. Welcome back to the Doodle Pro Podcast. I'm your host, Corinne Gearhart, and I am so excited for today's episode because we're diving into some of the most game-changing lessons from our past guests. We're covering what groomers wish you knew, how to prevent resource guarding, and the truth about separation anxiety. These are some of the most common struggles doodle parents face, and today we're going to revisit expert insights that can make life with your pup smoother, happier, and stress-free. And I have an extra special announcement. Next week, I'm welcoming back Marge Rogers and Eileen Anderson for a masterclass on reading your dog's body language. If you've ever wondered what your doodle is really trying to tell you, this is an episode you won't want to miss. So hit that subscribe button now, and then let's get into today's episode. Doodle breed dogs are easy to love, but can be challenging to parent. I'm doodle expert Corinne Gearhart, also known as the Doodle Pro, and I'm here to help doodle parents have a more fulfilling and rewarding experience with their doodles. No one has professionally worked with as many different doodle breeds or has more experience with doodles than I have, and I love to share my expertise in a fun, compassionate, and non-judgmental way. From my years of work and education in the pet care and dog training industry, I have an incredible network of skilled training, grooming, and veterinary professionals to share their knowledge with you and give you the doodle-specific answers you're looking for. I hope you enjoy today's episode as I help you parent your doodle like a pro. First up, let's talk grooming. Doodle parents know grooming is a big deal. But did you know that many professional groomers face serious challenges with unprepared doodles?
So first things first, let's talk about why is your dog getting matted? Okay, so is it because they have a double coat and that coat is meant to come out? Or is it's how you're touching your dog or the way your dog is playing? If your dog is maintained well, it's very unlikely to mat. And it's okay. If your dog is constantly needing to be dematted, it might be time to evaluate the play style or the haircut because it's not going to last long. For dematting, and again, you do what you want. I really like you have to be very careful, the Le Pooch mat zapper. And the reason I say be careful is because anything meant to get mats out really is basically saying cut hair or rip hair apart that's dreadlocked, right?
In episode 3, I sat down with River Lee, a former groomer turned grooming educator, and she revealed the top things she wishes every doodle parent knew before booking their appointment. One of the biggest struggles for groomers? Mats. They're not just a cosmetic issue. They can actually be painful for your doodle. And here's the truth. They don't want to shave them either. Quick fix? Use a metal comb all the way down to the skin to check for hidden mats. If your groomer tells you your pup needs a shave down, trust them. It's about comfort, not just looks.
One thing that we know, especially with doodle owners, and I always feel really bad because they're like so excited. They're like, I've been brushing my dog. I'm like, yes. And then it's what we call the skunk stripes. If you imagine like the dog's back, it's literally just the dog's back. So it might be the head, but it's never the muzzle. It's like the top of the head, the neck, and then all along down to the tail. And then we're like, what about the legs? And they're like, what about the legs? Did you brush the legs? They're like, I think so. And so we always laugh because you guys will say like, just shave the mats out. So we're like, so you want him to actually look like a little sheep because we're going to have to like completely strip his legs and leave his whole body because you're like, you did a good job on the body. Or they'll forget the belly
If you want to hear the full conversation and get more pro tips straight from a groomer's perspective, go back and check out episode 3 of the Doodle Pro Podcast. I'll link it in the show notes. In episode 28, I spoke with Karishma War, an incredible dog trainer, about how to prevent resource guarding and what to do when your doodle growls. Next, let's talk about a behavior that can catch many doodle parents off guard: resource guarding. Maybe your pup growls while you approach their food bowl, or they tense up when you reach for their favorite toy. It can feel concerning, but here's the thing. Growling isn't bad. It's not rude. It's not disrespectful. There's a common suggestion just from pop culture. People watch a couple episodes on TV of a popular dog trainer, and they need to know they're in charge, and that's not allowed. So a dog will have a bone. You need to take away that bone and put them on their back, or just if they growl, they lose the bone. Can you explain to our listeners why that actually doesn't work?
It's so triggering for a dog trainer to hear that advice.
I know, I'm sorry.
No, please. I hear it every day. But you see it in your head, that imagery, and the whole body just goes, I get so tense. Like I get shivers down my spine, because to me, that's such a scary lesson that dog is learning. A lesson that could end up really shooting you in the foot in the long run in terms of what you want. What do you actually want? And I always come from a really goal-oriented, like, in here. So you want to be able to take your dog's bone. Is that the goal, right? Surely the goal is not to be in charge. Mm-hmm. That's a wishy-washy goal. I want to be on top. I want to be in charge. What does that mean? You want to be able to take your dog's bone? Okay, That makes sense. That you want to be able to walk past your dog while they have their bone? Fantastic. I have a solution for you.
Growling is communication, not aggression. It's your doodle's way of saying, hey, I'm uncomfortable with this. And if we punish the growl, we're essentially teaching them to skip the warning and go straight to snapping or biting. Instead of scolding your doodle, teach them that giving up an item leads to good things. One of my favorite exercises from this episode is the trading game. Offer a high-value treat in exchange for whatever your doodle has, so that they learn that releasing items gets rewarded.
If you continue to put your dog on their back, likely we're going to get further away from that end goal, because your dog is going to learn that when you approach them, what happens? Exactly the thing that they're scared of. It's just not a smart training plan. Like, that's my main thing. It's not going to get us to the goal that we want. Your dog, and resource guarding, I think of personally as a fear response. It's a fear of losing control over something that's important to them, right? If you just immediately tell the dog, yes, you were right, you should be scared, I'm in charge, that's it, full stop. Your fears are true, and you live in this world where that greatest fear is a reality, and just get over it. To me, that's like not a super smart lesson. I think we can do better than that. We can do much better. Let's teach you that when we approach you, really good things happen. Soon you'll have a dog that happily leaves that bone and lays on their back for you to accept belly rubs and cuddle.
It's going to be an upgrade. Yeah.
They want to, not because they're scared, and the body language will look very different. It won't be like you're mentioning this kind of avoidant, stiff behavior. It'll be loose and wiggly and floppy and happy. And if we're talking about doodles, we're talking about dogs that are likely to guard resources.
They have a huge level of resource guarding compared to some other breeds. Yeah.
100%. Another lovely pet dog trait for us to work with our guardians on. And I think as well, those big fluffy faces that can make it harder for us to spot low-level aggression signs.
Yes. That lip curl is really hard to see when you've got that teddy bear beard. If you want to learn exactly how to implement this with your doodle, go back and catch episode 28. It's packed with expert advice. Separation anxiety is one of the toughest challenges a doodle parent can face. And there's a lot of misinformation about it. That's why I brought in the world's leading expert on the topic, Milena De Martini Price, for episode 32 to break it all down. Separation anxiety is fixable. When you're talking about suspending absences, having a dog with separation anxiety already feels really isolating. That is not forever.
It is so nice.
And that should be a relief.
It should be, because I get it. Not only as a professional, having done this for so many years, but I get it as a dog mom too. One of my own dogs suffered from separation anxiety, and that's another story in and of itself. But so I understand that overwhelm that exists, that, oh my gosh, my dog is 6 months old. I'm going to have to manage my life around him for the next 15 years or more. Right. And that is absolutely not the case.
Separation anxiety isn't caused by spoiling your dog. It's a genuine fear response. If your Doodle's crying, pacing, or even destroying things when you leave, they're not being bad. They're panicked that you may not come back. One of Milena's top strategies is micro absences, starting with leaving your pup alone for just a few seconds, then building up to minutes, and eventually longer durations. This gradual exposure teaches them that you always come back.
They are not trying to give us a hard time. They are having a hard time.
And you share that empathy also for the pet parents.
Oh, very much.
You didn't love them too much. You didn't. And I definitely highlighted that in mine as like thankful. So this isn't your fault. And there is such a genetic component that you have found in the research that they come out of the womb this way sometimes.
This was an incredible conversation. And if you're dealing with separation anxiety, I highly recommend going back and listening to episode 32 for the full deep dive. If these topics resonated with you, my upcoming book, Your Doodles Daily Scheduled Blueprint, is packed with step-by-step strategies for everything from grooming challenges to behavior training. It's launching in just 5 weeks. Stay tuned for details on how to get your copy early. I'd love to hear from you. What was your biggest takeaway from today's episode? DM me on Instagram at the Doodle Pro and let's chat. And don't forget, next week we're bringing back the incredible Marge Rogers and Eileen Anderson for a masterclass on reading your Doodle's body language. If you've ever wondered what your Doodle's really trying to tell you, this episode will be a game changer. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Until next time, give your Doodle an extra belly rub for me. Thanks for joining me for this episode of the Doodle Pro Podcast. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. And I invite you to follow me on Instagram at the Doodle Pro for behind-the-scenes peeks at all of the adorable doodles I work with daily.